This week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
LandLeader Television is brought to you by LandLeader, exclusive properties worldwide. Mahindra, toughest utility vehicles on earth. Gunworks, 1,400 yards right out of the box. Cinch jeans and shirts. Lead, don't follow. And by participating farm credit locations.
We moved here after searching around the entire country. When we decided to leave Pennsylvania, we were looking for a place that had all the outdoor activities that we like to do in close proximity, so we weren't driving hours and hours to get to the fun stuff. We also wanted to find a place that had excellent schools because we had 3 young kids at the time. This place fit the bill for everything. We traveled a bunch, went to different cities all around the country that kind of fit the bill, and none of them really seemed to be perfect in terms of offering everything that we were interested in and yet still having an affordable lifestyle and allowing us to be in a more rural, open setting. Ashland seemed to be really perfect in terms of offering the great weather, the ability to have wide open space to let the kids run and play, and yet be only minutes from town and only minutes from the school where they would be attending. This place is fantastic in terms of wildlife. We have flocks of turkey that walk through most mornings. We've had a bobcat that's come down around the bottom of the ditch that we've seen late in the evening. Usually in the fall, we get a few black bears that wander through, often a mom and a cub or 2 cubs. Of course, all through the whole Ashland area on this side of the freeway, there are deer everywhere. We often have 5 or 6 in the field every night when we drive in. Our well produces over 100 gallons a minute, more than what the person who was doing the well testing was capable of measuring with the equipment that they had. We have the Talon Irrigation District Canal running right through the property, so it's green all the time. We have a small vineyard at the moment. We have plenty of land available that we have considered expanding the vineyard for many years. Probably something that would be worth doing given how strong the Southern Oregon wine industry is doing at the moment. We have about a little less than a half an acre of a fenced-in garden. It's been fun for the kids to go out and tend after vegetables and growing some of their own food. We put a few fruit trees down the one side. It's been a good experience for them to learn about that.
It's about people far and wide, from coast to coast. The farmers, the ranchers, their cattle and crops, weekends in the woods, blueberries, peaches, a fishing pole, and your grandpa's rifle. Best friends, the love of your life, our children. It's about making this real. We've been financing your life for more than a century. We're Farm Credit. We're here to help you grow.
Did you know the toughest utility vehicles on Earth are also the most comfortable? The Mahindra XTV has 25% more legroom and seating than the other guys to comfortably seat up to 6 passengers. Our XTVs are built in the USA and backed by a 3-year warranty. That's 6 times longer than the other guys. And Mahindra's Flex Hauler is just $139 a month, plus $500 off XTV accessories. So get your work done, America, in comfort.
Looking to sell your ranch or farm? Visit landleader.com to learn about our exclusive network of the best farm and ranch brokers across the country. LandLeader member brokers are the leaders in their areas, representing the finest properties and providing their clients with the most property marketing in the nation. From ranches and farms to sporting properties and vacant land, we're the largest land marketing company in America. Give us a call or visit landleader.com today.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Land and Wildlife.
In terms of dealing with rural property, selling rural property, helping buyers find rural property, and anything agricultural, land for hunting and fishing, any outdoor type pursuit that you want to have on your own personal property, LandLeader's the only one to go with.
My name is Chris Martin. I'm a principal broker for Land and Wildlife, exclusive partner of LandLeader. Welcome to one of Southern Oregon's finest rural estates. We're located just 3 miles from quaint downtown Ashland. The amenities are endless on this property. We're sitting on 120 acres with irrigation rights, a huge rec building with its own gym and weight room, shop, storage space. We have an atrium-style indoor pool with retractable roof. We have a vineyard, a beautiful home with a guest house, and the list goes on and on. This is just one of the coolest things you're ever going to see on a piece of property here in Southern Oregon. This is actually I'm standing on a soccer field, an indoor soccer field at this property. We have AstroTurf flooring in here. It's set up for soccer, tennis. You can play volleyball in here. We have a weight room. We have a shop space, a storage space for all your recreational hobbies. The total building is over 8,000 square feet. You could retrofit this into just about anything.
When the kids were younger, we used to have the whole soccer team out here to play all winter long, give the kids some training and some fun. I think anyone who chooses to come to Oregon to live is going to find that Southern Oregon has the best weather, all the amenities. It's close to, fantastic shopping. It's close to all the wonderful outdoor activities between the Rogue River and Mount Ashland and Crater Lake. I mean, these are world-class attractions. And this property has all of the outdoor pursuits that you could possibly want to engage in. Yeah, why are we leaving? I don't know. Unfortunately, we've come to a point in our life now where our kids are moving on, heading off to colleges in various locations, and this is the time for us to transition to a different phase of our life where we're able to be close to them, because being close to family is the most important thing to us. And for that reason, that means we have to leave this particular property for now.
Now it's time for the Farm Credit Tip of the Week.
My name is Jared Renfro with Ag Georgia Farm Credit. You've probably heard that a conservation easement forces you to give up certain rights to your property. And to a degree, you're right. But in recent years, enhanced benefits means that it might be time to take a new look at what a conservation easement can mean to you. Land conservation donations come with some enticing incentives, like federal income tax reductions, state income tax credits, estate tax benefits, and even property tax reductions. And when you donate an easement, it doesn't mean you give up all rights to that use. It just means you agree to certain parameters regarding that use, which in turn keeps your land in a more natural state. If you're considering a conservation easement, it's best to talk to your accountant or attorney. But if you need expert financing, call Farm Credit. I'm Jared Renfro with Ag Georgia Farm Credit, and that's your tip of the week.
It comes to this moment. This is what he's prepared for. He's learned the science of long-range shooting. He knows how to select the right gear and how to compensate for wind. He's practiced. He's trained. Now, at 880 yards, he is ready. Gunworks, long-range university. Visit gunworks.com.
Now's a great time to buy your next farm, ranch, or recreational property. The premier broker members of LandLeader represent the finest properties available on the market today, from working cattle ranches to income-producing farm ground, equestrian facilities and agricultural land to sporting properties and land rich with mineral rights.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
Hi, I'm Dax Hayden with Hayden Outdoors, and we're here on the Chugwater Creek Ranch in southeast Wyoming. We're 45 minutes from Laramie and about an hour from Cheyenne. This property has a lot to offer. It has excellent hunting and fishing. I caught the biggest trout of my life last night on a fly rod, and it's excellent grazing and cattle operations. It's been part of the Horse Creek Land and Cattle Company for a lot of years, and we're proud to work with Dave Barry.
I grew up in a family that really took a lot of pride in the ranch and the operation. We had a purebred Hereford operation. My dad and his brothers really took good care of the property. I had a real sense of stewardship, which I have as well. Saying good fences make good neighbors, there's a whole lot of truth in that. So I have continued that tradition of building and maintaining good fence, and it really does make good relationships with neighbors, and it makes the operation so much easier. Throughout the ranch, I've got exceptional fences, and the same with the roads. It's just very important to me to have a road system that you can get around on. I graduated from veterinary school and I practiced as a large animal veterinarian for 7 years. Decided I would like to get back into ranching. To start with, I got into ranch real estate, and through the years accumulated quite a bit of property, including this place that we're on now. I first bought the ranch right here in 1995, and then over that next 22-year period, I've added to it over 20 times. Some parcels very small, just a couple acres, some of them very large, in excess of 20,000 acres. Almost without exception, when I buy a property, I go in with some heavy equipment, excavators and backhoes and loaders, and I clean them up. A lot of work, but worth the effort. The entire ranch is clean, well kept, and because the ranch is large, I have a nice road system because it would take so long to get across the property on the two-track bumpy roads that I put a lot of effort into road improvement too. So it's been quite a labor of love over that time period, buying properties, cleaning up the junk, fixing the properties up, building new fence, tearing down old improvements, putting up new improvements, building new corrals.
Landowner David Barry believes in the preservation of Western heritage at Chugwater Ranch through the use of traditional ranching methods. Having begun as a cow-calf operation, 100% of the cattle work on the ranch is done on horseback. Since parts of the ranch are fairly rugged and consist of a massive expanse of land, the use of off-road vehicles is impractical in cattle management on the Chugwater Ranch, not to mention that herding cattle has always been done from atop a horse.
There's tremendous wildlife on the ranch, a resident elk population, resident mule deer, white-tailed deer, antelope, terrific hunting. I've got an outfitter that brings in hunters each fall, and he's consistently booked, and it's almost 100% repeat business because he offers such a quality hunt. I've got a wonderful cook and beautiful facility to accommodate the guests. So we do quite well with the hunting. It's a real enjoyable time for all of us. Like I say, most of the hunters are repeat customers, so there's a relationship that develops through the years, and I really look forward to the return of those hunters. And it's a similar situation with the fishing. Although the fishing is pretty much the entire summer season, but again, exceptional fishing, big fish, brown trout, rainbow trout, brook trout, and cutthroat trout. And the people enjoy the scenery. It's just a beautiful ranch, and they like being out in the open country, and it's 100% private, which is unique. Usually when we have guests, whether it's the hunters or the fishermen, they have exclusive rights to that part of the ranch that they're accessing. There's about 20 lakes scattered throughout the ranch. 17 of those are man-made reservoirs, and the other 3 are natural lakes. All of those lakes, at one time or another, I have stocked, and my fishermen are catch and release fly fishermen, and you just about can't get them to keep a fish. They're such purists in their fly fishing technique. But the water quality is exceptional. It's all mountain streams, very fresh, clean, clear, cold water.
Land is where it all begins. From farmland and working cattle ranches to hunting properties and recreational retreats. We aren't your typical real estate agents. We choose boots over dress shoes and trucks over sports cars any day. We hunt, fish, raise cattle, and grow crops. We understand land.
Stuck in the weeds? Get your hands on the new Brush Dog dual cutting trimmer head. The Brush Dog combines heavy-duty string line with stainless steel blades, giving you the cutting power to rip through any grass or brush that gets in your way. There's no need to change from string to metal blades, and with a universal fit, the Brush Dog is guaranteed to work with nearly every commercial trimmer. Visit brushdog.com for more information and purchase yours today. Brush Dog.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
So the ranch is located 30 miles northwest of Cheyenne or 26 miles northeast of Laramie. So when it was homesteaded, everything was horseback or horse and buggy. It'd really be a full day to go into Cheyenne and do any business and come back within the same day. I think quite often if they had to make a trip to Cheyenne, it would be an overnight trip. It just makes sense at this point in my life to downsize a bit. I am so passionate about the ranch that I think that kind of helps in the marketing, because if you love something, which I do, I think it's easier to express the desirability of that property. I love the history of this area and this ranch in particular. And it goes back to the late 1800s, the history that I'm most familiar with. But The ranch here was homesteaded by Donald Clark in, I think, the late 1870s. It stayed within that family for 4 generations. So for that period of time that was well in excess of 100 years, 120 years or so, it was within that Clark family. I bought the ranch in 1995. I think the younger Jim Tugman died in maybe 1993, and they decided to sell the ranch. And that was a painful decision for the family because they loved it as well. So I was very fortunate to buy it in 1995, and I rebuilt this old stone house. The house was built in 1893. I like to honor the people that had built the ranch and, you know, the pioneers who had homesteaded here. It's been quite a project for over a 20-year period to put the ranch together. I'm really proud of what I've got here, but I've also decided it's time to downsize a little bit, so I've decided to sell the north end of the ranch, which is the most remote. It's the furthest from the ranch headquarters where we're sitting now. So there's about 15,000 acres on the north end that I have decided to sell. Truly love the ranch. It's big, it's scenic, beautiful, diverse terrain, from the mountain meadows to the aspen groves to pine tree covered hillsides, rugged canyon lands, open grassy areas with streams running down through each pasture. So it's truly a very productive, well-watered, well-balanced ranch. For a 30-year period, that's been my business, buying and selling properties. After I bought this ranch in 1995, then I started operating the ranch as a business enterprise as well. And I've just reached a point where I've decided it's time to downsize a bit. I've owned a lot of properties that I have resold, and it's always a painful decision to resell anything because I buy them because they're really attractive to me personally, or I think there's a lot of potential for profit in them. But most of the ranches that I have had, it's difficult to sell because I get such a immediate attachment to them. One of the ranches that I resold, I bought in 2012 and resold in 2014. And I got acquainted with Dax Hayden because he brought the buyer in on that purchase. I was aware that Dax Hayden had sold quite a bit of property in that area, and I thought with his recent success in southeast Wyoming and his contact with buyers that were looking at this market, I would look into having Hayden Outdoors market my property to others, and that's been a source of success through the years. I care so much about the properties that I have bought and resold that's conveyed to the buyers, and I think that adds a sense of comfort to them.
Came up last night and he allowed us to come in and film and fish, and I can tell you that I've never fished a pond like the one he's got here behind us. It has huge rainbow trout and the biggest brookies I've ever caught in my life. I think we landed an 18-inch brookie and about a 30-inch rainbow, so on a fly rod. It's pretty amazing, had a big time and just enjoyed the evening out here last night. The ranch is very, very well watered. It has amazing grass and sub-irrigated bottoms in an area that maybe folks don't realize that it has those capabilities. The grazing and the opportunity for the hunting and the fishing all mixed together with close proximity to Laramie, Cheyenne, and really even 2.5 hours to Denver International Airport makes this a very unique offering.
For more information on how to feature your property on LandLeader TV, please visit landleader.com.